Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It is time for another episode of Before the Whistle Blows. My favourite time of the week, getting these lads together. So my watch was talking about West Ham there, so that we can have a chat about the weekend's fixtures. As you can see, Locks isn't with us. He's thrown us, last minute again. But I reached out to my boy KG and got him in. How you doing, KG? You well?
Yeah, man, I'm all good. Thanks for having me.
It's all right. And this time I have put the links to everyone's channels in the description as well, right?
Good man.
So you've got,
good man.
Yeah, you've got KG Vision, West Ham Way, All Leeds TV, and of course Locks at Leicester City Fan TV and Rivalry Aside, I think. Before we go through the weekend's fixtures, as we always do from top to bottom, I just want to welcome in the two regulars as well. Oscar, how are you doing? Have you got over the weekend yet, Oscar?
Sort of. I don't think I will get over it, to be honest. We conceded 11 goals in 2 games at Old Trafford. I mean, at least it might only be 4 next time. It might only be 4. It might be working our way down now. It might be 6 last time, 5 this time, 4. Eventually, we'll just win there 1-0. You know, that's eventually it's going to happen, isn't it? But mate. Look, I personally think the Everton game, it's got the feelings of like that West Brom game from a couple of years back, on the Friday night under the lights when Pablo scores early. I just think if we score early against Everton, we could see some performance on Saturday, because the atmosphere is going to be absolutely insane, despite what happened last week. So I'm looking forward to it, mate, to be honest, to get back into the footy.
Yeah, I bet, mate. I bet. Being back at Ellen Road, first time, full capacity crowd in 16 years. It's going to be electric. Obviously, Corey, you've seen what happened to our lot on Saturday. It wasn't pleasant viewing.
I felt bad for you. I've got to be honest. I can't lie.
It was bad, wasn't it, mate? It was bad. But I watched West Ham Newcastle. West Ham were brilliant, mate, after going 1-0 down to Wilson. You were fantastic, eh?
Yeah, well, we went down twice, didn't we? So I was kind of getting into half-time thinking, I don't know what's going to go on. But, yeah, no, this team never backs down, never gives up. And yeah, no, going forward, we're looking a lot better. So can't complain. I don't think I could have quite dealt with Steve Bruce doing another double over us, if I'm honest. And when it got to half-time, I was thinking, I'll take a draw here, because if he starts doing it, and St. Maximan was pulling off all sorts. So, yeah, no, mate, I'm good.
Sorry, Corey.
Go on, mate.
Callum Wilson versus West Ham, it's just inevitable now, isn't it?
Do you know what? I'll be honest, KG. Lukaku's just come back in the league, and him and Callum Wilson score against us. So the record was what? Was it 8 goals? Callum Wilson has scored against West Ham, and I was just like, and it's St. Maximan as well. Like, I've seen St. Maximan at the London Stadium just dismantle Zabaleta. So when both of them was up front, I was thinking, I don't know what we're gonna do. So we managed to just get through. Newcastle, we should be battering them, and we kind of did in the end, but they've always put up something against us.
I listened to Guardian Football Weekly, and one of the guys commented on there saying Alan St. Maximan turned rice so many times he turned into risotto, which I thought was brilliant.
I was on the London Club's Carnage the other day, and Matisse started saying Declan Rice had a bad game. I was like, oh, hang on, he had a bad moment.
Second half, I thought he was brilliant.
Second half, he was outstanding. To be fair, I'm sure we'll get into West Ham later anyway, but that goal for me was more Craig Dawson than it was Declan, to be fair. So,
but I agree. Declan Rice was a bit anonymous first half, but second half I thought he was absolutely fantastic for me. Yeah. And Ben Rama's gone in my EPL team as well.
Did you get him before the price rise?
No, I don't. When did his price rise?
I think it was today. He's gone up to 6.1.
No, I got him in yesterday. I got him in yesterday, mate. So,
Same here.
Yeah, I put him in there, bro, because he's looks like he could well take on that Lingard mantle, to be fair. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
As well, guys, I'm just going to share something with you as well. I want to shout out the main man in the chat, Mr. Lee Smith. Big shout out, Lee Smith, who actually contacted. I don't know what's happened to your faces there. I better quickly take that off. But big shout out, Lee Smith. He contacted me and said he's actually decided to put together a predictions table for us. So I'm gonna have to just let me take that off. Brilliant. I'm trying to up the content, guys. I'm trying to up it. I'm making it. You guys know I'm not right tech savvy. But basically what he's done is obviously he's an avid watcher, so big shout out Lee taking your own time to do this, mate. As you can see, 5 points for a correct score, 2 points correct win or draw, and -2 if you get the wrong win, call or draw. So there was our predictions. As you can see, Oracle off to a flying start. However, it didn't continue in that vein. I finished the week on 7. Corey and Locks 11 each, and Oscar on -5.
I was looking at it and thinking there's a lot of minus numbers there. Having a bit of bother here. Not a great start, mate. Not a great start.
Not the best start. So we'll continue. Lee, I know you're taking care of that, mate. So if you take down everyone's score predictions, KG will take on the monocle of Locks this week. But yeah, let's start then, guys. So we'll start first of all. We'll come to KG first. Liverpool versus Burnley. Were you impressed with Liverpool at the weekend, or was it just a case of, it's Norwich? They always do that to Norwich.
Yeah, but I think you have to take into account as well I know they've been up and down so many times that it probably doesn't count anymore, but newly promoted side, and Liverpool just did their thing. This is what they're going to look like with all their players healthy. Now, I know everyone's sick of hearing Liverpool's injuries, but when it does add up, it does count. So, yeah, for me, Mo Salah is somebody that he's always going to be in the running for the Golden Boot. So he's undeniable, especially against teams like Norwich. So yeah, man, it was a good start for them. I was impressed with Liverpool because I thought they needed to add just a couple more players. It doesn't look like they're going to do it, but they look like they're going back to a couple of years ago Liverpool.
I think it's mad. I was saying this last week as well, KG, in that I know they've not done a lot of business, but everyone's talking about them. I've seen people mention Villa. Leicester I get, but like people creeping into the top 4, and Liverpool seems to be everyone's one that's suddenly going to drop out. And it's like, just because they're not done any business, the players that have been brought back, it's like new signings, really. I know that's a bit of a cliche, but Virgil van Dijk's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, you don't always have to add if you've already got class in your team. So the fact that they're getting those class players back, and Mane is due a bounce back season. Last season was an anomaly for Sadio Mane, so he's going to be firing this season. Jota's always going to have a point to prove if he's not playing ahead of Firmino. So they've got a lot of good options there as long as they all stay fit. So for me, I didn't take them at my top 4. I think they were going to be in the top 4 mix easily. And I think that game against Norwich is a sign of things to come for them.
Definitely. And just while we're on that as well, Wayman put Tsimikas in his dream team as well.
So did I, mate. So did I. Don't worry.
He's going to have a good time while Robinson's out. Give us a score prediction for that one, KG 12:30.
I'll go 2-0. 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. Oscar, thoughts on Liverpool-Burnley? Are you concerned about Burnley this season?
They've not done anything, have they, Burnley? I mean, they're never big spenders, are they, really? But yeah, probably a bit of a slow start again. But I think they did the same last year, didn't they? They've done it a couple of times under Dyche, where they've not started particularly well. But you always know under Dyche that he'll find a system, he'll make something work somehow. I mean, look at that midfield. I mean, Jack Cork, Josh Brownhill. It's not brilliant, is it? Let's be honest, it's not brilliant, but he finds a way.
Josh Brownhill, wait.
I know. I deliberately put him in there, but it's he's no Lewis O'Brien, is he? He's no Lewis O'Brien. But it's not great, is it? They've not got good quality. I think other than kind of Woods and the 2 centre backs, I don't really. I suppose Charlie Taylor as well. There's not really anything else I rate about that Burnley team, but Dyche always finds a way. This one's a step too far. I agree with KG. This Liverpool team, they've already got class. I mean, people talk about depth with this Liverpool team, but they have Firmino on the bench on Saturday. They have Firmino on the bench. You look at the other players he has on the bench as well. Tsimikas has just come in. He'd start for most teams in this league at left back, and he's their backup left back. I mean, yeah, there's some areas you look at that Liverpool team and say, if they got an injury to Salah, they'd be in a bit of bother, but so with every team. They can't all have the depth of Man City. Liverpool, for me, I'm actually going as far now to say that Liverpool, for me, are the favourites, unless City make that striker signing. From what I've kind of seen this weekend, Klopp compared to Tuchel and Solskjaer, I personally think Liverpool are favourites at the minute.
Favourites for the Burnley game, yes, but not for the title, sure.
I think they are. Look, where's goals for City without Kane?
No.
That's it. I think City yes, they've probably got the better players, but you need to score goals to win games.
Yeah, true.
I do think City will get a Kane, and I think ultimately, if they do that, they will win the league. But I still think Liverpool are stronger than certainly
over Chelsea.
Yeah, I'd say so.
My pick's Chelsea. Big Rom coming in changes everything for me.
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
He's the missing piece of their jigsaw. Everything else with Chelsea is so tight and organised. They just need somebody to stick the ball in the net more consistently rather than have a top score of just like 6 goals. Big Rom's going to solve that easily.
Yeah. Give us your
Don't forget,
then.
I have got -5 points, so I'm basically the kiss of death to Liverpool's title hopes now. They're finishing 5th, mate, after that. But 3-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 as well. Corey?
2-0.
2-0 Liverpool?
Yeah, just to clarify. Burnley ain't going to come up with anything.
Yeah, Burnley ain't going to do. Let's stay with you then, Corey. Aston Villa, Newcastle. I was going to say let's have some quick fire, but what did you make to Villa? Obviously, everyone waxing lyrical. They're going to get top 4, Europe, all this stuff, and they get beaten on the opening day by Watford.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was actually kind of disappointed in a way because kind of everyone has bigged them up a little bit and I expected to see something a little bit more than what they put out there. The only thing I can put it down to maybe is the fact that some of these players are trying to blend in with one another and Watford have caught them off guard. That's the kind of way that I would look at it. I think as well, you look at towards the end of the game. No, it's just a penalty from Danny Ings, but it was a great finish from McGinn. So I think they'll come again. I think it'll be interesting. I think they'll probably overrun Newcastle in that midfield. I think that's probably where they'll win it. I want to talk about Newcastle, actually, because to be fair to them, again, they scored 2 goals against us, but they caught us off guard massively. They're starting to press a little bit higher. I think when St. Maximan's fit, he's an absolute danger as well. So I don't think it's foregone conclusion for this one, but I'd say Villa 2-1 for me. I think they'll be all right. I think that you got to give them time. They've got signings in there. Buendia will come good. Ings will probably bag 15 goals if he's fit. So, I've got no reservations over them doing all right this season. Yeah,
and what was your score prediction, did you say?
2-1 to Aston Villa.
2-1. KG, Newcastle, do they need to be worried? I've said they were maybe possibly could drop, but after I know they got beat by West Ham, but if they can keep St. Maximan and Wilson fit, then they'll be all right, won't they? Because they did play well for large periods.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big if, though, isn't it, with both of those? Because, everyone can get injured. Everyone knows that. But those two have got form with injuries. So it is on them to stay fit. But I don't think they're going to get relegated purely because I think there's 3 teams easily worse than them in the league. So I think they'll be all right. I think they'll do exactly what Mike Ashley wants them to do, and that's stay up. So I don't see any issues with that. For score prediction, Aston Villa, Newcastle, I'll say 2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa. Nice. And listen, another time I've stolen someone's, but I'm going that as well. 2-1 Villa. Oscar, what you doing, mate? 3-0 West Brom.
I genuinely had down 2-1 Villa here. Genuinely, I think it'll be fairly routine for Villa. But I think Newcastle will score. I think there's enough firepower there for Newcastle to score. They're a different team when St. Maximan's in there. I mean, he's just magnificent. He genuinely wouldn't look at a place in the top 16 for me. Does he produce enough end products to play for a top 16? I don't know, but he wouldn't look at a place in there at all. And Villa, Ings, I mean, what a signing that is. You've got Ings, Watkins, people like that. I think they bounce back for me. Bailey will probably start. I think he only came off the bench against Watford, but already kind of saw a match of the day. Made a real difference to that left-hand side. And to be honest, I think if they played another sort of 10, 15 minutes from the sounds of things, they'd probably draw that game at Watford 3-3. They bounce back. 2-1 Villa. Villa will be the best of the rest for me. Outside the top 6, I do genuinely think at this moment in time Villa will be the best of the lot.
Yeah. No, it's fair. It's a good case for it. So everyone's given the score predictions on that. Let's have some quick fire on Crystal Palace, Brentford. We'll start with you, Corey.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Brentford. I think maybe I'm overreacting because of the Chelsea. Like, if you watch Chelsea Palace and it was on demand or whatever, Chelsea just controlled the game and I just thought Palace offered absolutely nothing going forward, and I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, I was getting sacked, man. I said that.
No. Wait, Corey, you're forgetting Conor Gallagher wasn't eligible for that game. He'll make all the difference.
BA, I don't think so.
I love that.
Well, at least I don't need to mention his name because it's already been mentioned. I've been trying to get it in every video, and now people are doing it for me.
Maybe you are right, mate. To be fair, like I thought Vieira changed it second half to try and get something out of the game, and I don't know. Pressure's on him, I think, if he starts dropping as well. I think Brentford are brilliant for me. Brentford did a job on Arsenal. You can't underestimate what they did to them. They bullied them, and I think they'll just be one of them teams that come up. They'll do what they want to sides. They won't try to change or accommodate. So probably with that and the confidence, I think Palace will lose 2-0.
Yeah. But Brentford, it was quite interesting to see them pepper balls into the box. Do you know what I mean? Because they knew
I love that. I love that about them, though, because you can come up and you can play, you can be progressive, you can get on the ball. But the fact they knew, they targeted Ben White all night long, and they thought, "Hang on a minute, we can go long, we can mix it with Tony, or we can start playing it short and beating your press." Just thought they're astute, man. And even when we played them in pre-season, I was thinking, you've got a bit about you, and that's why I think people have put them kind of 15th, 14th, because I think they'll surprise people first half before Christmas. After, maybe people will suss them out, but for now, I think they look good.
Yeah, good. What about you, Oscar?
Yeah, I back Brentford there. I think what I like about them as well is the system they're playing. Nice little interesting system. I mean, if you're playing Sergi Canos at wing back, you've got to be pretty bold. You know, he's not the strongest defender, but my word, he gets forwards. Lovely goal. I mean, the best thing about Friday night, Carragher's commentary on the second goal. I don't know if anyone watched it or listened to it. He just basically went into a rant against Arsenal. It was probably the most unprofessional but funniest kind of commentary.
Didn't he actually mention?
Yeah, he referenced Ty. He said, "This is the team that the title contenders. Apparently, the title contenders just went for everyone. I mean, poor Ben White. I mean, I just hope he didn't watch Sky on Saturday morning, to be honest, because he was getting a bit of stick. But no, Brentford, they'll target the. You know, I hate to admit it about Thomas Frank, but he's obviously done a pretty good job there, hasn't he? Tony obviously didn't score against Arsenal. The odds tell you he's probably going to score against Palace. 2-1 Brentford.
2-1, okay. I'm going 2-1 Palace. I do. I think they might beat them at home. KG, you?
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Brentford.
Big. Everyone really impressed with Brentford. We know them though. They are a good side, man. I can almost guarantee you that Leeds lose down at Brentford this season. I put it in the bank. We will get beat by Brentford down at their place. I just see it. We might, maybe not at ours, but I think we will down there. Right, let's move on to one of the 3 o'clockers now. The big one for us Leeds fans. Will go to Corey first of all. It's Leeds versus Everton. Are you looking at Everton last week and the shower that was Leeds United at Old Trafford and thinking this is an Everton win?
No, I think it'll be a little bit closer than I thought it would be. I mean, I think Everton struggled first half, didn't they, against Southampton? Second half, they just started peppering the box. And I don't know what it is with you lot. I backed you. I thought you'd go up to Old Trafford and you'd sussed it. Like, you thought, hang on a minute, let's not be so expansive. But it is what it is. And United had a brilliant day and you'd obviously struggle. But I think you'll get goals against them, if I'm honest. I do think your energy... look, the energy levels are going to up, aren't they? You're at Allen Road. I think that's going to hurt them a little bit. They'll have to get to grips with that. But I worry about you a little bit in terms of dealing with crosses into the box. And I just worry. I just think, like, when you've got a target, someone like Richarlison playing off Calvert-Lewin, I think there's goals. I'm going to go 2-2 in this one. Unfortunately, it's not what you want when you're back after 16 years in the Prem, but I can just see it being that way.
Okay, Corey, are you worried about Leeds?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I think it's kind of... it's weird for me looking in because you almost have to accept that there will be games like Manchester United and there will be games where you just batter teams. And for me, I couldn't quite deal with the up and down of that. If I was a West Ham fan, it would be kind of a bit nauseating. But at the end of the day, Calvert didn't
You'd all be smashing Upton Park up and that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Points flying all over the place. Not anymore. He can't get close enough to the pitch. But
no, fair.
In all seriousness, I think Robin Koch as well isn't helping you in defensive midfield. I'm not sure how you're going to... For me, you need someone that can play that role more effectively. Calvin is such a specialist at it, so unique. very few players that can play in exactly the way that he does. So I think you'll be all right. You'll be all right. There's nowhere near relegation, nothing like that. But I don't know. There's just a naivety there still for me. I think if you want to go and be pushing and improving on sort of last season, you've got to be wising up a little bit. And Bielsa's a top coach, mate. I'm sure you'll get something.
Great. That's great. That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear
I've
from
got
an
a soft
opposing
spot.
fan.
I've got a soft spot. You know.
Yeah, no, I
I've got to be
know.
honest.
I know. Because we've had to hear loads of different takes. I think there was one guy on TalkSport that actually backed us the other day. I don't know if you guys seen that clip where he was saying, I'm sick of all this stuff that comes out about Bielsa. It's the same rhetoric, and he actually backed us. And I was lucky enough to speak to him today, actually. So yeah, he's it was nice to see, because straight away everyone's on Leeds are rubbish, need to sack Bielsa, get Allardyce in, go 10 at the back and all that BS after one result. KG?
I wish we had gone 10 at the back at 3-1, to be honest, mate. I wish we had done that.
Oh, man. Nah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man.
You know what's funny about it, Joe? You know, on my watch along, my first watch along on my channel, yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, God.
The first watch along, and somebody put all the timestamps of when the goals went in, and I noticed on the video, on the analytic, it's just little chunks of when the goals have gone in. So people have just used it and gone through my reaction, man. Love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. That's brilliant. It is just class in it. I see it all the time.
Oh, man.
I had to go back and check the Don Robbie ones, and I actually clicked up like my face on one of them, and I'm like ready. I'm seething.
There was a bit in that, mate. I was watching it, and they asked you a question. You went, "To be honest, I'm already on the train home." And I was like, "Just let him go, Robbie. Let him go. He's had enough."
It was tough, man. It was tough. Man. No, I'm not going to do it anyway. We'll talk about it after. But yeah, it was it was good. But yeah, I was on TalkSport. I did put Gabby. Yes, Dylan, you know. Because as soon as will you come on TalkSport? I checked Villa's result, seen they'd lost, and I went, yeah, okay, I'll go on now. Because I wouldn't have gone on otherwise. That fake Carruthers said Gabby texted after the result were going, I can't wait to get into Leeds fans. But obviously Villa then went and lost, so tail between his legs. But KG, talk about this weekend's fixture, mate. Are you excited? Do you think we win this?
Yeah, I think we do, man. I think I predicted on my channel. I did a preview tonight, so check that out on my channel. But I predicted 3-1, so I think we do bounce back. I just, you know what it is. I didn't look at all the stuff you guys were just talking about there with Bielsa out and all that. I don't read or listen to that stuff because I know what's coming every time we lose like that. I know you know what's going to happen, so I don't bother getting into all that. But I just think that we will bounce back. Everton did have a good result, granted, but it was against Southampton, and Southampton for me are one of my three to go down. Yeah. So I think with all that being said, and Bielsa says that he feels like we were, robbed or something of a performance last week. I think that we get it right this week. But for me, and Joe, we spoke about it on our therapy show together. We've got to stop doing this square pegs in round holes thing. And like the fans, just because Bielsa's doing it, just accepting it and saying that we can't do better. I think that there's a lot of fans online that just say if Bielsa does it, it's got to be all right. But we can see with our own eyes, like Robin Koch, like Corey said, Robin Koch in defensive midfield, Pascal Struijk in defensive midfield, it don't work. So we need a reinforcement there. And from the sounds of it, if they're playing their hand and saying that we haven't got any money to get one, we've got to go with what we've got now. Fair enough. We'll try and draft in someone from the under 23s or something. But to keep on playing a centre back in that role, we've seen it so many times, guys. It don't work. In the long term, it don't work, and it's definitely not going to work against teams like Man United. So I think we get back to basics. Hopefully, Phillips does play.
Got to, man.
Yeah. It's so bad that we rely on one person to keep our system going fluid as he does. But yeah, hopefully he starts and we get something out. And like you say, Rodrigo hopefully plays a bit further forward because the midfield role, again, it's not working. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've seen a lot of that. And I think I said to you on your show, like, it's the first time ever as a fan, Oscar, that I have completely disagreed with Bielsa. Like, I've disagreed with little bits before, but this time his whole post-match, I was like, no, we weren't better. no, Robin Koch wasn't good in that position. Like, that's not true. And I do get what you're saying is like, KG, where people say, oh, I trust in them. Yeah, I trust them.
Yeah.
But I'm still allowed to disagree, because otherwise we might as well turn all this YouTube stuff off and never talk about football again. Because it's like saying we can't have an opinion as fans. You just got to trust. And yes, he has my trust because of what he's given us. But I can still say, I'm not so sure. But yeah, Oscar, thoughts, you're in and around. You've got a lot of Everton supporting friends being from Southport. Are they confident ahead of this fixture?
Well, I think as KG said, I mean, obviously they win that first game, but it's Southampton. I don't want to sound like Roy Keane here, but it's Southampton. That's their job. That's their job. It's if you lose, but they're not great, are they, Southampton? Let's be honest. So, I mean, it's a decent win. Don't get me wrong. Scoring 3 goals in a game is against any team's good in the Premier League. But and they've got good players. In terms of Corey said about Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. If them two do play up top together, which they may well do, they might go 2 up top. A couple of Everton fans have told me. That's obviously a threat. Damari Gray's apparently started well for Everton. He's started to show a little bit of potential on that left-hand side. So yeah, there's threats in this Everton team. There's no doubt about it. But you don't see... Maybe you see Leeds lose 2 or 3 games on the bounce, but you don't see 2 or 3 poor performances on the bounce. I'm confident at the very least we'll be at it on Saturday. And if we do get the early goal, I think I said to you earlier in the show that it feels a bit like that West Brom game for me in terms of the magnitude of the game. The fact it's the first time in 17 years we've been able to watch a Premier League game at Ellen Road. I think the atmosphere is going to be absolutely unreal. I think the fact you can have 3,000 Evertonians heading up to Ellen Road. We can have, how often do you see that away end full these days, really? Very, very rare, Ellen Road. It's going to be a special atmosphere, I think, on Saturday. I think Rafa will try and spoil. I think that's what Rafa does. He tries to spoil the party. He's done it throughout his managerial career with great success, has to be said. But I don't think Everton defensively have got the players to just sit in and absorb pressure. I think they've got to be a little bit more on the front foot from time to time as well. So I think it'll be a very, very good game. I think we win the game. 2-1 I'm going to go for. But in terms of team selection, I am running out of patience with Koch at holding midfield and Rodrigo. Well, Rodrigo particularly, to be honest, because I just look at Rodrigo now and think, you can play anyway. You know what I mean? It's a striker playing in midfield. It just isn't working. It's not. I know, obviously, we're trying to adjust positions and that lot, but it's going to be probably a very unpopular opinion, this, but I genuinely think Roberts is better in that position than Rodrigo, to be honest. I think he certainly presses better. I'm not saying I necessarily say start Roberts, but there's a lot of better options in there than Rodrigo. If you're going to play Rodrigo, play him up top. If not, have him as an impact option off the bench for me. I genuinely wouldn't go that far now. Similar with Robin Koch as well. I think there's obviously been a lot of talk about in Germany, he's played holding midfield. But that's in the 2. He's never played as a holding midfielder as a single holding midfielder. He's always played in the 2.
And it's Germany.
Yeah. I don't want to be disrespectful to the Bundesliga, but you saw, I don't know if anyone watched Dortmund Bayern on Tuesday night. I know you're going to say. This is the top 2 teams in Germany, and it was genuinely like a school match kind of thing. Like, just everyone wanted to score, no one wanted to defend. It was just like tactically, it was just absolutely all over the place, and it's very, very different. As Corey will agree, it is very, very different playing in Germany to what it is in England. So he's got to play centre back. I want a right footer and a left footer at centre back. No more of his 2 left footers. It just, I think you saw just last on this. I don't want to keep rambling on about it.
I was going to say, Oscar, you haven't had your therapy session yet, have you? You're definitely getting all this.
You did on Sunday morning. That was a good little session. That was a good session. But whenever Pascal got the ball, one of his greatest qualities is just being able to spray passes with that left foot. But every time he got the ball, Greenwood knew he had to cut it back on his left, and it just made it so much easier for him to press us from that kind of respect. So, I'm just going to turn the lights on just to stop this rant, but just right footer, left footer, at centre back, please, Marcelo, and then we win the game against Everton 2-1.
2-1 Oscar, 2-2 for Corey. Corey, go on. Sorry, KG, go on.
Yeah, and just on Corey's point about us being exposing the air and everything, that's where we miss Llorente. Like for me, Llorente is our best centre back, but it's all about just keeping him fit, which is the big thing, isn't it? But Bielsa says he'll be back next week, and we'll definitely need him against Burnley. So, as long as we can keep Llorente fit, that gives us a leg up because he's good at almost everything. Llorente, he's good in the air. He can play it out. He's a threat from attacking set pieces too. So we need that guy back fit as soon as possible.
Definitely. Did you give me a score prediction 3-1, Cage?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-0. I am. I think we keep a clean sheet. I can't wait to be back in Ellen Road on Saturday. Obviously, when we got beat 6-2 by that team before, we went on and won the next two and conceded 0 goals in both games. So I'm expecting more of the same out of Everton and Burnley, and hopefully we go into the international break with 6 points on the board, which would be amazing. But yeah, 2-0 Leeds United. Right, let's move it on to Man City Norwich. Corey, do Man City need to be worried? The Tottenham game, not having that focal point. I thought Ferran Torres played well, actually. I thought he ran the line pretty well. It's just no one gave him the ball. Do you know what I mean? But do they need to be worried?
It's an interesting point, isn't it? Because people keep bringing up the fact that they've lost, 3 games, 1-0. And I only watched the second half against Spurs. I actually thought, credit Spurs, I thought they were actually all right. They're a lot better than what they were last season. But on the City point, I think, I don't know, it was just an odd watch. Like, they weren't passing with the same level of tempo. I thought they were predictable. And I think against a Nuno side that's so compact and well organised, you do need to pass that ball quickly. I think you saw when De Bruyne came on, that he will probably start in that Norwich game and that will change it. And he'll bring the players up around him and Grealish will have a little bit more freedom. Because for me in that game, it felt like everything was on Grealish just to create. And I think that kind of goes against the whole point of bringing Grealish in, because that was what he had at Aston Villa. Like if he's at City, he should have all the space to go and move into the positions. They do need a striker though. They do need a striker. I wonder whether they will get found out with that false 9. I think teams will figure out how to sit behind the ball. Certainly West Ham, I'd expect if we played against them, that's exactly what we should do and frustrate the hell out of them. They'll probably bring Kane in, mate. They'll probably bring in Kane in the next 2 weeks, I think. And then that'll give them a lift. But it is a weird circumstance for them to lose these type of games and to be playing in a manner that they are. But like we saw last season, they can flip on a knife edge. They can go and win 20 on the bounce. So again, they have to be careful this time because there's so many teams, Liverpool, Chelsea, even Manchester United, they're on fire. So if they're not careful, they'll get pulled out and they'll have to go and make up ground. But I think Norwich is a great game to have for them at the minute.
Too right.
Go and get a win. Oh, a great game for us. I'd love it. It's weird though. Man City, I watched them the way they played and I thought if West Ham are playing that City side, we can get a win in that game. And so they've got up the levels pretty quickly.
Yeah, what are you going for, mate?
2-0. You know, you think more, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going
2-0.
I'm going 4, mate. I'm going 4. I think they get absolutely bad. I could even say 5, genuinely. You're not feeling that? 2-0. That's poor.
Nah, I'm not. I just can't.
Have they got 5 goals in them though, City?
Yes.
Against Norwich.
Come on,
yes.
man. Yeah.
Did you think Norwich?
I think they'll win. They'll win, but that heavy?
Yeah.
No goal scorer. You know, where are the goals coming from? Do you know?
Stone's hat-trick. John Stone's hat-trick.
Score. I'm not saying they won't score. I'm just saying there's no one you'd go, he's going to get 2 and he could get 2. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of them games. Or you think they'll go and win 5?
They are playing Norwich, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
We'll see. This is why I'm top of the leaderboard. We'll see.
Go on, KG. Tell us your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Manchester City, man. No way. I mean, yes, they it was clear to see the thing that was missing was the killer striker. But I've said that for years anyway. They managed to do it last season. Gabriel Jesus was never going to be the heir to Aguero. The guy is not good. And if he was in any other team, we wouldn't be talking about no Jesus. He's not levels. So for me, there's goals in that team everywhere else. If you get Sterling in there, De Bruyne can score. Gundogan can score. Torres can score if he's given a chance. So they do have goals in there. Set pieces, John Stones. So yeah, I don't see any issues for Man City against Norwich. I'm going for 4-0. 4-0, yeah.
I've even transferred Ferran Torres in my FPL because I think he gets goals.
Let me tell you something, Joe. I don't touch any City players.
Really? Because of I know that's the thing. I was like, he probably won't get picked, but I think if he does, he might get a few. Go on, Oscar. What are your thoughts, mate?
Well, they'll win this game, City. The only thing I say about City is that left side of the defence, if that plays against Norwich, if that plays against any team in terms of Ake and Mendy,
it was rubbish.
I think Norwich will score because of that, to be honest. I think Norwich have got enough to score, but they're still going to get battered. 3-1 or 4-1, I'll say 3, but I think obviously it's interesting today that Lewandowski has obviously said that he wants a new challenge. I see that. I can genuinely see that probably being easier than Kane, to be honest, because it's always felt to me like Haaland, privately, Bayern want Haaland as that Lewandowski replacement. Maybe that might happen that way, but I can see that more than Kane now, to be honest, in terms of Lewandowski and Pepper work together. They just need someone like that. Lewandowski, Kane, whoever it is, it will make sense.
I'm just checking there his age, so he's 32. They still want 100 mil, right? They're not going to spend that if they can get Kane, who's 28.
Yeah, but who's the better player?
Yeah, but
I know that, but
Kane's going to be around for a bit longer. You know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of longevity of Lewandowski in that kind of sense. But I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's he won't go for 100 mil anyway. No one's going to pay 100 mil for it. It'll probably be more like 70, 80, something like that. There'll probably be a swap involved somewhere as well. Maybe Bernardo Silva goes the other way. Someone like Mahrez, maybe. Bamford.
Lewandowski.
I tell you what, have you seen that Bundesliga? Bamford's getting 50 in that league. But no, City, I mean, they weren't great against Tottenham, but you got to give credit to Tottenham. But I just look at it in terms of if they don't get a striker, I just don't know how they're going to get the goals to win the title. In terms of when you look at what Liverpool, Man United, and the other teams have got. I know defensively they're strong, but when you're playing in those big games against Man United, you need that focal point for me up there. But I still think they'll get a striker anyway. But they missed Foden as well. You know what? For anyone that's saying Foden's overrated, look at the City team, the way it started the season without him. Massive player for them. And I actually think Foden, if they don't get a striker, will probably go into that false nine. With Grealish maybe on the left, something like that. But they've got so many options, haven't they? But I just can't believe that against Tottenham, all the money they spent, all the investment, and they started Ake and Mendy. And I think they've got Laporte and Zinchenko on the bench. I don't think they wouldn't have lost it. Like, it was only when Mendy they started that Tottenham game really well. I don't know if any of you guys watched it. The first 15, 20 minutes, I was thinking, how are Tottenham level here? And then Mendy, probably about 3 or 4 times in about 5 minutes, just kept losing the ball. Just kept giving the ball away. And Tottenham got that bit of confidence. I think Neville mentioned it, I think, actually after the game as well. That's it just gave them that lift, the crowd, that bit of a lift. And I do think there's a bit of a weakness as well. I think mentally City are a little bit weak as well. You've seen it in the Champions League final when they have that little setback. They can tend to panic a little bit when they go one down, but they'll still be up there. But if they get Kane or Lewandowski, they're probably going to win a lot this season.
Yeah, so because KG's gone 4, I'm going to go 5. I'm going to go for the points in the bank. I think they absolutely batter Norwich. Just for those, so I know Corey, I keep getting your names wrong. I don't know why. Corey, I know you only seen the second half, but KG, what were your thoughts on Grealish in that first debut?
I mean, he was subdued, wasn't he? And I think with the new rules now, with the refs letting things go a lot more now, which I love, by the way, I think it's been long overdue, where these people just keep on falling over, maybe even an ailing flop as well, with just a little touch and then it's a free kick. I'm sick of that. So I'm glad to see the referees letting things go. But with that, Tanganga did something rotten to Grealish. He did something rotten to Sterling. And I think it threw him off. You even saw Grealish. Grealish has got it in him as well. When it's not going his way, he will slide tackle you and then call you a pea hole. He does it all the time. He's very known for it. So, it wasn't the best debut, but Grealish is going to be fine. Lord Grealish will be a success at Man City. Of course he will.
You could see, though, like there was, I think, even still with that thing, he won like a free kick within 5 minutes, right on the edge of the box, just carrying the ball straight through, you know what I mean? And you can see, for me, it felt like he'd always been there. Like he just fit in. He didn't look out of place. Do you know what I mean?
And also, Joe, just with that as well, he was winning free kicks, but he was also releasing the ball quicker at times as well.
Yeah.
So you can already see Pep has already told him, or he knows around him, he's got the quality around him to release the ball to players that are on his level or better. So he's going to be good, man.
Yeah, definitely. I thought Tanganga and I thought Lucas Moura's son, they were all phenomenal. Just while we're on Spurs as well, they're actually losing 1-0 in the Europa Conference League. They're actually getting beat.
Tottenham Hotspur finished last season with 30.
It's my watch.
So they've just beaten City. They've just beaten City, and now they're losing. That is the most Tottenham thing you can probably get, isn't it? You can't get more Tottenham than that.
Sessegnon, Lo Celso, Winks, Gill, Davis, Romero, Carter Vickers, Doherty, Scarlett up top. Dane Scarlett, 17.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Must be a young kid. Jack Clark. Jack Clark's just come on for them.
Hey,
Jack Clark. Playing in Europe. There you go. Right, quick one on this. Just quick fire. No one's bothered about these two. Brighton, Watford, Oscar.
2-1 Brighton.
2-1 KG.
1-1.
1-1 Corey.
Yeah, 1-1 as well.
I'm going to go 1-0 Brighton. Let's do this one quick fire as well. Let's not talk. We've already spoken. Southampton, Manchester United. Let's just we'll move on from them. But we've got 2 ones to get our teeth into after. Oscar, Southampton, Man United.
Do you want me on this one? On this?
Yeah. You've got you're -5. You need you know what I mean.
5-1 Man United. I think they get absolutely battering, to be honest.
Wow. Corey.
I'm going to go 3-0 Man United.
KG.
Yeah, I'm leaning 4-0. 4-0 to Man United.
I'll go 3. 3-0 Manchester United. Just on that as well, right? On my FPL, I have got Bruno Fernandes in my team, right? But, no, listen, right?
This is Italy winning the Euros all over again, saying,
listen,
little positive,
listen, right? So the Square Ball have done a league, and someone actually seen that there was players within that. There was people in that league that triple captained him, and they're all Leeds fans. And I was like, no. But anyway, I've got him in my team. I benched him because I couldn't. Yeah, exactly. So I benched him because I was like, I can't have him playing when he's up against Leeds. It don't feel right. So
I've brought him in this week. I've brought him in.
Yeah.
I wild carded early, guys. Like my wild card has been played, so
already you've done it first week.
I've done it first week, Corey. Okay, changes needed to be made. I needed to ring them changes in.
I had Bruno and Salah in my team, and then I captained Salah instead of Bruno.
I've got Salah. This is what I'm saying. So I have Salah, Bruno, but I had Salah captain, but left Bruno on the bench.
No,
so
that's
I can't have it.
There's no rules in FPL, man. You got to go with your gut.
Oh,
you have to, man.
You got to do it, mate. I've had Kane in the team, captain him against West Ham, and it was 3-3. So everyone's a winner. Do you know what I mean? I've got a win.
I couldn't.
Everyone's a winner.
I couldn't, man, just because I knew. And then, but that's what I mean. People in the Square Ball League actually triple captained him, which I think is brutal. Like, imagine sat there going, "Well, at least my FPL's bouncing." I couldn't do it. Yeah, I couldn't. I had a good week though.
How many points? Somebody did ask actually, if you can remember, how many points did you get in the first week?
Well, it'll be the 77.
That's good.
Yeah, so I don't. Oh shit! No, it's smashing my phone. Oh, you can't see it because of the fucking green screen.
We believe you.
I saw Firpo in there though, mate. That wasn't a great shout, was it?
He got minus.
He got -1. He is in there. I had
comes on at half time and we let him 4 goals. It's not a great start.
I had Richarlison though.
Yeah, I had him.
Antonio. I had your boy Antonio.
Mate, when he missed that pen, I was like, oh, come on, Mickey, please. I'm begging you. I got 100 points last week. I
nice.
on the bench. Yeah. I was
Fair
gutted
enough.
though because I put Soufal on instead of Christensen, and I was like, we're gonna get a clean sheet up there. And I normally don't back West Ham players because we're so up and down. But 100
Yeah.
points, lovely stuff.
Yeah, I got 74. I got 74 just for the record.
Oh, nice. What about you, Oscar? Minus
I think
4?
65, I think, something like that.
It was
Minus.
big week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think everyone did well, to be
I
fair.
had Son in there. Son did me a favour.
Yeah. I've got some nice little changes ringing though for that weekend, so I'll have to wait and see.
Are you
Remember
keeping the
with
faith
the-
of... Have you all got Raf in your team?
Yeah, I've got Raf, yeah.
Are you keeping the faith?
He's the only lead player I've got.
Yeah,
He's the only
same.
one I've got. Yeah.
Same.
You know what it is for me? I don't like really owning players that we have because then you want them to do well in real life and then you want them to do well in fantasy. I'd rather just take the headache out of it, but I can't not have Rafinha. So that's how it is for me.
Good stuff. Right, let's move on. We've got 2 games left to go. Wolves, Spurs. We spoke about Spurs just briefly just before there, but KJ, how impressive were Spurs against City? I thought they were fantastic. I thought the way they defended as well, narrowly, you could just see it from the front three of Bergwijn, Mora and Son. Just from the front, I thought they were absolutely fantastic, man.
Yeah, but what I'd say about that Tottenham performance is, even more so under Nuno, this isn't sustainable. Like if they were to do this in nearly every game, they're not winning the games. So they're going to have to do something else than what they did against Manchester City. Like Tanganga, he had a really good game, but you just mentioned Bergwijn. He's just not the answer.
No,
as good a game as he had, he's got no end product. Whenever I hear people talk about Bergwijn, they keep talking about the goal he actually scored against Man City when he made his debut. That was a couple of years ago now. So he's not the answer on the right hand side. Maybe Hill will be the new Spanish kid that they've brought in. Son is obviously going to be their go-to man, especially if Kane goes. And there's nothing wrong with Son being your go-to man. Hopefully he just does it on a more consistent basis rather than just having a big patch of goals and assists and then going quiet for a bit. So, yeah, and somebody there, where's Ndombele? The guy, I think the guy's reportedly wants to leave Tottenham now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but again, that's a big hole in the central midfield because their midfield, Højbjerg's good, but Skip, he's coming in. Winks is a scrub.
I thought Skip played well though, right?
No, he didn't play well. He did all right. I mean, when you say well, what are you giving him out of 10? And I hate player ratings.
See, I'm pretty generous with mine though. I start at like a 7. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I do though. Like for me, 7's a good performance, and then if you're better than that, like
So what are you giving him?
Yeah, I would say 7. Yeah.
Oh man. See, I don't think he did anything that great.
He was good.
No, he was
okay.
all right. He was okay.
So what would you give him then? 5?
I'd give him the average 6. Yeah.
You're splitting hairs here. You're splitting
It's
hairs.
harsh, that. He didn't get Gundogan didn't get a kick off Skip in the whole game. No, I agree with KG. I mean, Skip's not going to be the answer for this season. He's a prospect. I mean, you look at that Tottenham team. I mean, the players they do have that are good. Like Son is just miles better than every other player in the team, unless Kane stays. Then you've got a big drop off to maybe like a Ndombele, Højbjerg, people like that. It will give you the odd good performance, but yeah, they can't play like that all season, Tottenham, because it's all well and good doing it against Man City when both fullbacks go flying forward. There's loads of space in behind to counter. When you're playing Burnley or Palace, different teams are going to sit back more. I think they've got to find a way to be more on the front foot. And the key thing is, as KG said, there's so many players that Tottenham are reliant on now. Bergwijn, Dele, Mora, all very inconsistent players, and they're going to have to rely on that three behind Son to deliver, in those kind of games. And I just don't see it. I still think Tottenham are a long way off the top 4, but they'll probably will just about beat Wolves, I think. I'll go 2-1. But yeah, it won't be easy at all.
Did we get your score prediction, KG?
Oh no, I'll say 1-1. 1-1, yeah.
Corey, do you think Nuno has a big impact on this game? Obviously, just coming from Wolves, how do you see it going, mate? What do you think his tenure is going to be like at Spurs? He started well.
Yeah, obviously they.
As well.
Yeah, they were crying, weren't they, Spurs fans, because they wanted, Conte, this, that, and the other, and they didn't get him. But I actually think with Nuno, it is a safe pair of hands. It's not where they want to be. It's not top four. To be honest, I think they do well to get top six. I know they should be in and around because of the past couple of seasons, and if Kane stays, then they definitely. But I was quite impressed with Nuno. I was quite impressed with Tottenham. I know we talk about different looks against low block sides. That's fair, but defensively, I think they had Dyer playing, Sanchez playing. He's got them working. They look organised. So I think he's a good manager for them. As far as Wolves are concerned, I didn't think they were great first half against Leicester. They've definitely got something about them, and I could see they want to still be that counter-attacking side. But Adama Traore, please, man, please, I'm begging you, just learn to finish, because he's one of them players where he gets on goal, he can beat everyone. He's got like the best success rate dribbling-wise in Europe, or he's up there. You just can't finish for love nor money. So this game, I'm probably going to have to go. I'm actually going to go 2-0 Spurs, to be fair. I think it will take a while with the Wolves manager, because Jimenez played, and Jimenez wasn't as prominent as he normally is. Normally, everything feeds off him. In this game, it was through Traore, or it was kind of knocking down, and Trincao was getting involved. So I think a bit of time with Wolves. I think I'm going to go 2-0 Tottenham.
Fair. I don't rate Traore at all, mate.
I don't get the fascination with him. I think he's one of them players where, if you're happy to, St. Maximin, a bit like that. I think St. Maximin's got a little bit more about him, but
only a little bit though. That's what I mean. I don't really rate him.
But that's what separates them from being an elite player, is the end product. Yeah. What you need to do is, the only advocate I'd say if we got Traore, I'd say, but if he's got runners around him and he's occupying people, that's the only way he works. He doesn't work in terms of actual end product. So you can never write these players off. I do think it's weird with Traore. He's got everything you need. You just don't have the final product. So yeah, I don't know. He's a risk.
With Traore though, and I'll cut him a bit of slack for last season, because Wolves heavily. I mean, I can't stress it enough. They rely on Jimenez so much. He was getting crosses in last season, but he had that new U up front, Fabio Silva. He weren't getting on the end of them, so he was getting in positions and getting in crosses, but there was just no one finishing those off. So there is a bit of context for that, but I do get what people are saying about his end product, because it's not always there. But like Joe said with St. Maximin, even in that West Ham game, he did all that against Rice and he crossed it in for Wilson. That was a beautiful move. But also at the same time, he'll do the trickery and then do a pass, and it will go over to the corner flag. He's still got that in his game. So I get where Joe's coming from with St. Maximin too.
Yeah. I do. I bracket them both the same, although St. Maximin maybe has a little bit more. But I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs as well. I will. Let's move on to... We've still got two, actually. We've got Arsenal, Chelsea and West Ham, Leicester to do, which is Monday Night Football, first one of the season. But let's talk about the gift that keeps on giving in Arsenal.
Yes. I had to wait 50 minutes for this. 50 minutes. I
got it at the beginning, man.
Love it. Can't wait for this.
Go on, Oscar. Take us away, mate. Away.
I love Benjamin White. But Romelu Lukaku versus Ben White, having Thomas Tuchel having watched that Brentford game, I just cannot see how Ben White is going to be able to contain Lukaku. I think Chelsea are going to go a little bit more direct. That's if Lukaku starts. If it's not Lukaku, it'll be Havertz. Havertz, big lad as well, will be able to hold off Ben White. And they're going to target that, aren't they? And then you've got obviously the pace around them. It's going to be a really, really difficult game, that, for Arsenal. I mean,
can I just share? I don't know if you've seen this picture on Twitter. I'm just going to share it with you now.
This is crease, mate.
Ben White versus Lukaku.
Oh no!
Wait.
Man. God, no. But it is. It's exactly that, isn't it? It's going to be. Lukaku will start, I think. I mean, he's just going to, because of what we've seen. I mean, Mari. I mean, I don't know how that Mari gets away without any kind of criticism, because how he's playing for a top 6 team. I can't. But he wouldn't have started for Leeds in the Championship.
He's not playing for a top 6 team. That's the whole.
How he's playing in the Premier League? I mean, Arsenal will only improve when they get Gabriel in alongside Ben White. Gabriel's by no means perfect, but at least he's a bit more aggressive. He can win a header. He can be a little bit more of a leader at the back than what Mari can. Because Ben White, I've said it before, in terms of alongside Cooper and Lewis Dunk's influence on Ben White, has been very underestimated for me. I think he's a far better technically, I think he's a far better footballer than both, but he's needed both of them early on in his career, in terms of those more aggressive kind of defenders alongside him. But I think I agree actually with what Neville and Carragher were saying, that Ben White's got to look at himself a little bit in that kind of game. I think that Tony's just completely bullied him. He's got to be a little bit nastier. And that's the only thing for me that's stopping Ben White from being one of the top centre-backs in the Premier League. But unfortunately, the problem he's got now is that the Arsenal fan base is already against him, because he's had that bad game. It's cost 50 million. I mean, why are they bringing in Aaron Ramsdale as well? I mean, just when they thought they can't get the situation any worse, now bringing in the goalkeeper who makes mistakes. He's almost as erratic as Leno. He's probably more erratic than Leno in terms of charging out of his area, making daft mistakes and that lot. And you're thinking, what are they thinking? What are they?
That Edu hasn't got a Scooby-Doo, has he?
Apparently he's jet skiing. Apparently he's took a holiday in the middle of a transfer window.
I'll tell you what,
he just can't make it up.
What's even funnier than signing Ramsdale for 30 odd mil is the fact they're bringing him in as a number 2. I genuinely, I just cannot. It's the banter of some of the signings is just, it's horrific recruitment. And this is the thing. Arsenal are an absolute shambles. And I think Arsenal fans are all caught up with who's the problem. I actually think, genuinely, if you got rid of Arteta and you brought someone in, they would do better. But there is a deep-seated problem with who's signing these players. Arsenal spent a fair whack. Let's be honest. They bought Pepe for 72 mil. They've just got Ben White for 50. They've spent, if they get Odegaard and Ramsdale, it's 110 this window.
But Odegaard as well. Is he even that good?
This is Oscar. They're talking about him like he's the second coming. Correct me if I'm wrong. Arsenal was shite last season and he played for them. Do you know what I mean?
This is what's hilarious, though, with Arteta. Arteta, rather than trying to... You saw how they played against Brentford. Everything's through the fullbacks. Everything's through Tierney or Smith-Rowe. And he thinks, we need more creativity. I'll buy a number 10, throw him in and let him do whatever. He's got no plan. He ain't thought about how he's going to approach it and how he's going to get them working together. He just buys a player and whacks him in. They need to get rid of him as soon as possible. I hope they keep him, because we can just see the decline a little bit longer. But... genuinely, if I was an Arsenal fan, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what I would do. It's a mess. It's a sham.
They've decided to buy a number 10 when, no disrespect, I actually think Chambers is probably better than Murray, but he's not. He's also not a fullback. He's not a fullback, Callum Chambers. They've got Callum Chambers playing at fullback. They've got, you've got even like Balogun and kind of like Nketiah competing for the number 9 position. You're thinking... What is going on? I personally think Arteta will be the first to go. I agree with Corey. I don't think it's all on Arteta. I do think they'll improve if it goes.
They're too invested in Arteta.
It's like
if they get battered by Chelsea, and that fan base will turn. I think they're kind of the same with
City as well. I think they've got City next week as well.
I think he's gone in the international break. To be honest, I genuinely think after that Brentford game, I think the problem as well is for Arteta. The reason he got away with it last season.
They've gone too big on the.
Well, the fans weren't in the ground last season. That's what I think he would have gone last season if the fans were there. I just think that Arsenal fan base is such a bad situation in terms of. But I tell you what, that Amazon documentary. It's time that is going to do numbers. That is going to be one of the highest grossing. Honestly.
Can you imagine? You'll probably do it all in one day.
They should do an early release. Just do it live. Just go live with it. You know what I mean? Turn it into like a sitcom instead of what's his name.
What's going on, Cage? What's going on with? Because, like I said, Don Robbie was there. Turkish turned up. They started talking about Laka and Aubameyang, and then are they really sick? And then Robbie was, oh no, apparently they're really sick, and then it's come out that actually Aubameyang might be on his way out. What's going on there with them two?
No, I think they've got coronavirus. I think the information come out today, so they won't be.
Has it been confirmed today?
I think so. Don't quote me on that, but I did see it by some Bluetooth.
Because there was links to Barcelona, right, Aubameyang?
Yeah, but the thing, people keep on talking about Barcelona, but they can't.
No way. Even Barcelona aren't that daft.
No, I'm serious. I'm not making that up, right? Fabrizio Romano said they don't want to.
Really?
Yeah, let me find it. Go on, carry on, Cage. Sorry.
Yeah. What was the question again?
Aubameyang and Lacazette, but you've just killed me. You said
And it's funny, actually, Joe. It's funny you mentioned Robbie, because he has this knack of talking himself into anyone that Arsenal signs is going to be a success. So, like Ramsdale signed now. No, let's take Willian first. Willian's better than Ziyech. And today he's actually come out and he's trying to make sense of the Ramsdale thing, and he's kind of turned it around now. The thing is, your eyes don't lie to you, and I've actually had to watch Ramsdale because my partner supports Sheffield United, so I saw all the calamity, all the bad games, and everything else like that. I just don't see what they see in him, but obviously they've got a plan. But they've spent a lot of money to go nowhere. You know, it's like when Everton came into a whole heap of money. They spent a whole lot of money to go nowhere, and I think that's what they've done this season. It's funny you mentioned Arteta. He's actually the manager there. He's not even just the head coach. So these will be his signings. So if they do sack him, they're going to need to get in a head coach that is willing to take on these players here. Because if it's another manager they're going to get, the new manager is going to probably want to turf out quite a few of these players. So that makes me think maybe there is a long-term thing for Arteta there, because he is the manager. It's him and Edu making these signings. So who knows what's going on there? But like everyone else on the panel said, basically, it is a mess there. Recruitment, everything else. When you see like how Everton move, Leicester move, Villa move, and you see what Arsenal have done. If you looked at those Arsenal signings, what they've made for nearly 130 million once Odegaard and Ramsdale goes through, you think that maybe Southampton will buy those players?
Well, the thing is as well, Arsenal, I've saw this point made before, that Arsenal signed Lacazette at the same time as Man United signed Lukaku, and Chelsea signed Alvaro Morata, I think. I think it was Morata they signed. It was either Morata or Torres. I think it was Morata. So Man United's got rid of Lukaku within 2 seasons, and Lukaku was a lot better than what Lacazette's been. Yeah. Chelsea got rid of Morata within 1 season. Arsenal are still backing Lacazette to be their main, presumably Lacazette to be their main number 9. Maybe it might be Aubameyang, but either way, Lacazette's going to play a lot of minutes this season. I'm not saying Lacazette's necessarily a bad player, but when you're trying to push up the table now, you're looking at it and thinking, he doesn't really press. I don't think he's scored more than 20 goals since he's been there.
He hasn't scored more than 15 league goals.
15?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. This is the difference, okay, between Chelsea, Man United, these other clubs, that there's no chance Chelsea would have stayed patient with Lacazette for 4 or 5 years. They just wouldn't have done it. And that's the thing. Look, even like the likes of Bellerin. Bellerin's still there at the club. Rob Holding. Names like this.
Oscar, Luke Williamson with a super chat, thank you, says, how can Arsenal say they are changing the culture of the club and then extend Xhaka?
I don't get that, because they've signed, is it Lokonga, who I actually thought had a good. He was probably their best player against Brentford. He actually really put himself about, in terms of putting a couple of challenges in. He actually showed something about him. Again, I'm not saying he's the answer, but why would you do that and then extend? I don't think Xhaka's that bad, actually. I don't think he's as bad as Bellerin and that lot, but he is a bit of a head case, isn't he? He's going to get the odd sending off every season. He is a little bit erratic, but yeah. And then you got the likes of Thomas Partey, who just isn't fit. I don't know. It is absolute madness how they've got it. Because
the mad thing is, they're still talking about Willie Saliba, and he's never played a game for the club, and they're all going, but what about Saliba, man? Saliba.
And you know what the thing is as well. There's 2 things with that. Xhaka as well. Could you imagine if he did what he did at Ellen Road and then was able to wear the captain? It would never happen. It would never happen.
Not a chance, bro.
There is no chance that player would be able to come back. Players have been hounded out for a lot less than what Xhaka has done. So that just wouldn't happen with us. It just wouldn't.
I would not accept it.
Or have him flirt with another club all summer. Just say it was Calvin Phillips and he was saying, "Oh, hey, Liverpool, nice to see you. I wouldn't mind going Liverpool." And then he's putting out all the feelers, and then he gets a new contract. We'll be thinking, well, what's this about?
But look, this is where Arsenal fans are going wrong as well. Their expectations to just accept media. I mean, accepting Xhaka like that. I mean, they've got to unite as a fan base because Arsenal are a huge club. To accept what they're watching, if I can sit here and watch Arsenal and think he's been in a job for 18 months or whatever it is, Arteta, there's no identity there. What are you watching? How can you get behind any? And as a fan base, they need to sit there and say, look, this isn't good enough. We've got to go and we've got to try and push, force the owners, do what you got to do, have your protest. But I mean, now they're getting to a point where they're accepting Ramsdale, and that's a tricky slope because you're never coming back from that. Like if he starts dropping, I watched him. He was playing against Birmingham. He dropped a clanger again in the Championship. He'll do it in the Prem, and people.
He dives after the ball's in the net. He does it quite a lot too. So you'll see that as well when he plays this season because there's no doubt he will play. Oh, and just one thing on Aubameyang. I don't think there's anything wrong with Aubameyang. I think he's still, if you give him the chances in the box, he will score more often than not. But why it is, I think Arteta don't like the senior players there. I think he thinks they've probably got too much influence, which is why he likes buying young. And that's why Odegaard, I think you prefer over a James Maddison, even if Maddison was to go to Arsenal, say. But I think he likes that he can mold the young players into what he wants them to be. Whereas he finds anyone that gives him a problem out, you've seen it with Guendouzi, you've seen it with Saliba, all the senior players that give him problems. Ozil, it's just like bye-bye. He's got that, this is my first job, I need to show that I'm the boss kind of thing about him.
The crazy thing as well with Arsenal, the crazy thing is, you look back at like 4 or 5 years ago, or it's probably less than that actually, when Wenger was there, they were finishing bare minimum top 4 every single season. And they were moaning at, not just moaning at Wenger, actually trying to get him sacked, for about 4 or 5 years. I'm not saying Arsenal should just go in on, but probably should actually, in terms of Arteta. If you're going to do that to your greatest ever manager, not just a good manager for your club, your greatest ever manager, and you're going to try and hound him out for finishing 4th, then why aren't you doing the same thing for Arteta? That's what I question. Then you look at people like Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey used to get loads of stick off Arsenal fans. Giroud used to get loads of stick. I remember listening to Talk Sport, and every single week they've been moaning at them, and you're thinking right now, if they had the Ramsey or Giroud, they'd be the best players. They'd be the best players in their team. You know what I mean? That's how, and Koscielny, other players like that, and you're thinking, I think Arsenal, as Corey kind of said, they've kind of accepted that they're just a long way off even competing for top 4. Never mind European football or title challenges. They're miles off. And I think they'll be the lowest out of the big 6. That's as far as I'll go. They'll be definitely lower than Tottenham. I'll go that far.
You reckon, lower than Tottenham?
Unless they do something mad like get Conte. But Conte isn't going to take a job like that. I think that's just paper talk, to be honest.
No, that board want a puppet, which is why they didn't get any of those.
They won't sack Arteta. I do not believe they'll sack him. They're too invested in the project. Edu, Arteta, they're too invested in it to go. It's a bit like Manchester United. Okay, it's proving dividends now, but they've been through some really tough stuff and they've really thought, we can't really press the button here. And I feel maybe at Arsenal it's even worse. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see them moving him on, mate. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
To be honest, I'm not gutted. I'm not particularly gutted about that. It's all about the documentary now. It's all about. I want it to be as good as the Sunderland one. I think it's going to better the Sunderland one.
Yeah, it's going to be better.
It's got potential.
The Sunderland one is really good as well. I really enjoyed that one. But you know what? I bet you they have a scene of Aaron Ramsdale on his way to side and he's having to block comments on his Instagram. I bet you that's a scene in the Amazon doc. Remember, I've said it here. It will be there in the doc that, look at these Arsenal fans. They don't seem to be happy that you come in. And then he's having to block the comments. I bet you that is a scene.
And then he drops his phone.
Come on.
Let's look. We Chelsea. I think we're all backing them, but let's get some score predictions in this. I'm gonna go. It depends if Ron plays. I'm gonna go 2-0 Chelsea. KG.
3-0 Chelsea.
Corey.
3-0 Chelsea.
Oscar.
3-0 Chelsea.
Yeah. Oh, wow. 3-0s and a 2-0.
If Lukaku plays, just going to be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, then maybe
disgusting. I actually am starting to feel sorry for Ben White. Like I've got to be real. It's not going to be nice.
Yeah, I do, man. I felt
You know what? In terms of Chelsea, I'm really looking forward to seeing Havertz and Lukaku link up, man. Because I rate Havertz very, very highly. So to me, if that link works, it's going to be a problem for a lot of people.
Deadly. Right, last game of the weekend before we finish up is, of course, West Ham versus Leicester. Corey's West Ham got off to a great start against Newcastle. How are you feeling for this one, mate? Are you going to the game? You'll be back in the ground, Leicester,
First one, mate. Yeah, first Premier League game back at the ground. It's going to be interesting. It's weird. When I went to the Atalanta game, there was a few bored out sort of chants within the stadium. So I am thinking with the transfer window going on at the minute and how lax we still are, what it's going to be like. But I can't. The one thing you can't level at West Ham fans is the support for Moyes and the players. This is in my lifetime, this is sort of the best team, the best manager, like the cohesiveness of that I've seen. Like even on Sunday, because I'm a West Ham fan, naturally, I think we go 2-1 down. I'm like, here we go. Like this season's going to be awful. And then we come back and you forget, actually, do you know what? We've come a long way. And listen, we did the double over Leicester last season. One of the best games was beating them 3-0. I think it will be tight. I really want us to do them over. But I really am worried about Jamie Vardy, because I reckon Jamie Vardy with 60,000 West Ham fans would love to spoil it. And I looked at Craig Dawson and I thought, no, because
Craig Dawson's playing in Europe this season, man. Just
exactly.
think about that.
Corey, you know, on Craig Dawson, I think he's had the unfortunate Theo Walcott contract year syndrome, where the loan got turned permanent and now he's just given up.
Nah, not Craig. Look, you know what the problem is with Craig Dawson? I dug him out massively when he signed and it got clipped up or whatever. And I was like, all right, fair enough. I got it wrong. No one thought he would do all right. But he's got limitations. Like, it's fact, right? If you get a striker with a bit of movement, what worries me about him is not even the fact that he's slow. It's the fact that he can't see Callum Wilson, who's literally just behind him. He just lets him run. And Vardy,
cat rats. He's
like tunnel vision. If he's sitting back and the ball's there, he will head it. Like he will win the ball. But if he's there, he won't turn. And I thought he was all right with centre back, but I am starting to think if we could get Kurt Zuma in or whoever, that would be quite nice, to be honest, because that's going to be our undoing. Going forward, I think we're brilliant. Going forward, I thought it was some of the best football, and a lot of fans have said that they were surprised with how well West Ham played. And I said to you lot in pre-season, we look better on the ball. We're taking our time in possession. Bowen should have scored. Benrahma is much, much better. When you watch him in real life, he's a player, but he's doing a lot more off the ball that he wasn't doing last season. He got a header on Sunday. And he never normally gets in the box. So we're improving. I'll go 2-1 West Ham. I'd be happy with a draw if I'm honest. I think, look, Vestergaard plays, Amati plays. I think Antonio can get in behind and cause problems. But I'm not going to speak too soon because it's a tough old game against them lot.
Yeah.
Definitely. Go on, KG.
No, just on the Benrahma thing, man. I knew he was a player, and I think we spoke about him, didn't we? When it was that whole his birthday video came out, and it turned our club off him and everything. But I knew he was capable of doing what he's going to do this season. He's going to be an absolute problem this season, Benrahma. He was just settling in, and then obviously Lingard came in and took it away. But when you look at West Ham, they've got so many good players. Bowen, I've spoke about for years. He's easily a quality winger. We should have got him that time, actually, if we could have got him. I don't think we had the funds to get him from Hull. Souček in that role, just a threat both ends. Soufal, Creswell at set pieces. You guys have got so much good stuff. And as much as you say about Dawson, going forward on attacking set pieces, he's somebody that you want in the box, isn't he? Because he's good for a goal. So, yeah, for me, West Ham are a good team. Leicester, obviously, are a good team too. But for the game, I'm going to go for 2 on West Ham, and I think they'll just have that little bit too much on the day. And by the way, Jamie Vardy is a legend, man, and the game is going to miss him when he's gone. I'm telling you.
He's a brilliant player.
When's he going to slow down, man? Is he ever going to slow down? That's the thing.
He's just going to keep his diet up in it, Red Bull and whatever else it is that he eats. But now you see players like that. It's not until he retires where people truly appreciate just how great he was. And he's because he doesn't look like a poster boy for England or anything else like that. He kind of gets dismissed, but his achievements are up there with strikers that are rated better than him by a lot of people. But he's amazing, man. Jamie Vardy, top guy.
It's mad because he played for Halifax Town, where I'm from. Played for Halifax Town. Then he went to Fleetwood. Then Leicester bought him for $1 million. And to think, when he was playing at Halifax Town, that he would go on to win an FA Cup and a Premier League, play for England. It's mad. It is mad. And it's truly like Cinderella story kind of stuff, man. And yeah, he's just a normal bloke as well. And he's from Sheffield, I think, isn't he? So it's just class.
He's a Sheffield Wednesday fan. That's why whenever he scored against Sheffield United,
give
it to him, or the corner flag, whichever.
Exactly. We have,
just a legend, man. I love ballers like that when they've got the talent to back up the thing. Because like Corey says, Jamie Vardy scores away day at West Ham. He's probably going to do like a funny walk or something like that.
Oh mate, he'll do the thing. What?
That's the Crystal Palace one, the eagle.
Don't, mate. I'm getting rage already if he starts doing anything. I was like,
you're going to be barred, aren't you, by the end of that game?
If he starts on it, honestly. But I think the thing is, it's that's what we're talking about. It's good banter. Like, he's a character as well. He's a brilliant player, but he's a character. And if he was playing for any of for Leeds or West Ham, we'd be sitting here going, he's all right. Same with a couple. You get players like Lingard. No one likes him. I didn't like him. Comes to West Ham. I love him. Love the dancing. Bring it on. Do you know what I mean? It's just is what it is, mate. It could come back. Come back. And then we'll see a bit more. I'll see it live.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, just on Lingard, I don't know what he's doing, mate. You ain't got a future at Manchester United. Just let it go, mate, and go get game time because you are a good player. Don't waste your career sat on the bench because you want to stay close to Rashford and Pogba, because that's all it is for me anyway. Oscar, it's true, man. West Ham, Leicester.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to Declan Rice versus Tielemans in the middle of the park. I think that's a really nice battle. I think that's probably two of the more underrated players in the league. I think certainly in terms of in midfield, I think they both do such a big job, and they could easily play for a top 4, top 5 team. I'm sorry, Corey, but they could. I'm absolutely buzzing, to be honest. You kept Rice, or you look like you're going to keep Rice. Genuinely, absolutely buzzing. I mean, said to Joe in terms of how many of these players are going to move on in terms of Grealish and that lot. And to be fair, it looks like you're going to keep Rice for another year. And to be honest, it's clever because you're going to get bigger fee for him because he's going to move. He's going to just get better and better and better. I think he said, I think it was the Tubes, I think it was on Soccer AM. He was saying he wants to play higher up the pitch and get more goals. And I think he could. I think he genuinely could. But that's going to be a very key battle. But I think West Ham win this. I think West Ham got enough to win this. I don't think. I just think there's enough in there for that West Ham team in terms of going forward. There's enough goals, and it'll be a really good game. I'm going to go 3-2. I'm going to go 3-2 on that. The only problem I've got with Leicester is that behind Jamie Vardy, it's kind of like they keep kind of swapping it all the time in terms of changing like the system and that lot behind him. And I just think that Maddison's been a bit quiet for me since the second part of last season. I think he's kind of dropped off a little bit. He's still a very, very good player, and they've done well to keep him. But I just think Leicester are going to start. They've started so well the last 2 seasons, Leicester. I just think this season it might be a little bit different, where they might start that little bit slower and start to just kind of improve as the season goes on. I don't think they're going to get top 4 though. But 3-2 West Ham, but it really could go either way.
Corey, what did you say? Did you give us yours?
I said 2-1 West Ham. It's interesting what Oscar was saying about Maddison, because I've just done a preview, pre-recorded it, and it's exactly what I'm saying. I think with Leicester, the intention is sometimes just to sit behind the ball and give them a lot of the ball, but they'll create. But if you press their midfield a little bit, and look, West Ham with Rice and Souček, I back them against Tielemans and Ndidi, you stop the service into Maddison, and all of a sudden it becomes predictable. They've got to go in those wide spaces. I just got a feeling with Moisey, we played 2 different times against them. We've pressed them and we've sat back, and we've won in both games. I just feel like we've got their number a little bit. Not that we're a better team, but it just suits us. So it's a 2-1 West Ham. Fingers crossed.
Nice. I'm going to go for a shutout, mate. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go. We've all gone for a home win, which I bet Corey didn't probably suspect. But another great round of Before the Whistle Blows. Lee Smith, if you're looking in the chat, make sure you get them score prediction down and do your little Google Doc for next week. Let's see if we can get Oscar off a
-5. I should be allowed back on this show if I'm still on minus points. I shouldn't be allowed back on.
Hey, sorry, just before we go, because somebody mentioned it in the comments, I just want to get you guys quick thoughts on it. With all this haggling over Lewis O'Brien and linked with a guy like Josh Brownhill, and obviously with the comments saying that we're probably not going to have the money, whether that's a public bluff or not, we'll see towards the end of the window. Like, what are you guys making of this Lewis O'Brien thing?
After Bielsa's press conference, mate, I've still not had time to digest it properly.
Fair
I'm
enough.
a bit like, really? Like,
Yeah,
still, like, when I heard Kinnear say it, my optimism went from here to here. And then it's still nothing. Then Bielsa says it near enough a week and a half later, maybe, and it's just gone like that. I'm like, yo, the thing is as well, if Kinnear, Orta, Rads are presenting in players, they could still be doing that. And Bielsa's going, nope. Let's not forget that, Phil Hay tells the story that when Leeds struggled in that first season under Bielsa, he got offered Glenn Murray and Billy Sharp. And they'd have got us over the line. And Bielsa said, nope. So for me, there might be a little bit of that in it, because you can't tell me 99% of managers in that situation being offered Glenn Murray and Billy Sharp in the situation we would have gone, yes, take them.
When was this the first season?
Yeah, I think so. Or was it the second season around?
I can see why Bielsa did that.
I'm with Oscar on that one. I'm not feeling the Billy Sharp or Glenn Murray at that point.
If we needed goals, though, what I'm saying is you take them. For me, anyway, you take them, right? I'm not saying in terms of, they fit the system, all that sort of stuff. But we know I guess my point is, he's been offered players in the past. And if he's not on them, then he'll not take them. And I think there's a case of as well, if prices are too high, he would say, nah, it's too much.
Yeah, and I agree with that as well. I don't think we should be paying over the odds. We've done that before, and look what happened to us. So I completely agree with that. It's just that this whole haggling over Lewis O'Brien, it's just, you know what I mean? And then we get linked with Josh Brownhill, that kind of midfielder. I mean, they're very vanilla to me. Like, I can see what he's going for. He's obviously looking for an engine in the midfield so other people can do their thing going forward. But we need to get one over the line. I'm just interested to see what happens by the end of the window. That's all.
I think the other thing is,
I don't think
I think we will. I think the reason we will is I think Poveda isn't going to be at Leeds by the end of this window. I just think I heard little things last week about Poveda even before that Man United game in terms of that something had happened there. And again, I just can't see. As soon as you get on the wrong end of Bielsa, the wrong side of Bielsa, especially it's Ian Poveda. There's no disrespect to Ian Poveda. Pontus Jansson, who was probably our best centre back at the time, didn't see a way back. Do you really think Ian Poveda will? No disrespect to Ian Poveda, but again, whatever happened, he's not. Let's be honest, he's not great, is he? He's not as good as Somerville. I would genuinely go that far now and say that really Poveda, Costa,
it's easy to say
they're nowhere near.
What's he done?
He hasn't. One assist, I think. One assist in two years. So
14
I look at it.
Premier League appearances as well. 14.
Yeah, but if Poveda's not at this football club, if he does move on, that means we're down to 3 wingers. I think we will get. I actually think it'll be the winger we go with. I do as well think we need to go for a midfielder. Not before
centre midfielder.
Even if Poveda goes, I think.
Yeah,
Orta and Bielsa love a winger. That's the thing, though. They love a winger.
Prioritise centre midfield. The fact that we've gone after my boy Conor Gallagher, of course, Lewis O'Brien, and now Josh Brown are all linked. There's no way we just bypass that and go straight for a winger for me.
But you can't. We're so reliant on wingers. You can't just have 3 wingers. Now I would be panicking.
Some of them.
Yeah, but it's a big if that, Somerville does get promoted into the team.
This is the thing, Oscar. But we can talk to the cows at home, right?
Yeah.
If we're being honest, all of us, we're not happy with the squad. Bielsa is. There's nothing we can do. Well, are you happy with the squad, really?
I still think we can compete with that squad. I mean, look, in terms of where we finished last season, what? No, it's in terms of if everyone's fit, which is a big if. I think it's a decent starting 11. I don't look at that bench and think we're 1-0 down to Everton on Saturday. If we went 1-0 down to Everton, I'm thinking, I tell you what, they're going to change the game for us. Look at them. we can give us a real boost in this game. I'll be honest, because I'm looking at obviously doing the video for tomorrow on All Leeds TV in terms of how we start against Everton. I'm struggling. KP's not available. I'm thinking, do you put Click a bit deeper? Do you put Dallas a bit deeper? But he's probably not going to, in terms of from what Phil Hay was saying. I mean, he's saying that he's not fully ready. He did say the exact words. I agree. If he's even 20% fit, just starting for the first hour or something, or just the first half, and just gives that little bit of a boost. But just make him play a full 90. Honestly, just anything.
Firpo in at left back, Calvin in the
season. I agree. But I don't think Calvin starts. I genuinely don't think Calvin's. From what was said in that press conference and what Phil Hayes said, it sounds like Phillips, and I hope that's not the case. I would start Phillips all day long. But
says Calvin Phillips is getting closer.
He's not going to start though. For me, with that kind of language, it doesn't sound to me like someone who's going to start the game. Personally, I hope I'm wrong. I'm not sure KG will agree with that, but from what that kind of language does not sound to me like Pervader. I keep saying Pervader.
What's going on here, man?
Phillips, KP, forget about Pervader. Honestly though, Pervader, what was he thinking with that holiday video as well? What do you think was going to happen when he did that? I don't think it's that, but it's not a great start, is it? It's not a great start, that holiday video.
Oscar, I brought this up with Joe, because for me, the holiday video isn't a problem, just like Ben Rama's birthday video.
But you know what the fan base is like, though, KG? When they see something like that, I think it's not great.
We see it, don't we, when they post a picture of, like, in Gucci or something like that, one, labels that the fans have heard of. I'm sure for a time they never heard of Balenciaga, because they never said one word to Calvin Phillips about that, but he's been wearing that for time. But we've seen it, don't we? Like, oh, that's not proper lease. These guys are earning money. They're not earning £600 a month. They can get this stuff. So to me, I don't
rocking the Kappa Leeds gear like me.
But, I don't care about that stuff. But you kind of do know that within the club somewhere, they do care about that stuff, because he put them off Ben Rama. That's a huge signing we could have had there. So
on the Pervader thing, I think he's been asked to do certain things, and I said this to you, KJ, and I've mentioned it a few times. I get the impression, and I don't know him, so it's like defamation of character. I can't really comment, can I? Because I don't know him personally, and maybe I'm hammering his character. But I get the impression that he don't take no shit. And if he don't like what he's being told, he would say no. And if you do that under Bielsa, then it ain't going to work out. I think.
Who is he though? Who is he to say that? But who is he to say that? At the end of the day, he's Ian Pervader. But I'm not being funny. We've given him an opportunity. If that's true, look, we don't know that's true. But if that's true, we've given him. It's not like he's played 100 games at the Championship before we signed him. He's come from Man City. He was the backup to Phil Foden and Jadon Sancho at Man City for most of the time. He wasn't actually starting for the Man City.
Chelsea spent 3 years. Arsenal, 2 years. Barcelona, 2 years. Brentford, 2 years. City, 2.5 years.
But it's not a lot of time, is it? These aren't long. Is that not a bit of a theme there? Do you not feel like it's a bit of a theme developing?
Leeds, it'd be the same. He's not been at a club longer than, apart from Chelsea, where he started. He's either chasing the money or why is he not staying put?
It's not chasing the money. Not the level he's at. I don't think it's to do with the money. I think it's just he sees an opportunity. If the opportunity is there, so. Yeah. Maybe we'll see him go at the end of the window, because for me, and we'll leave it soon, because I can see Corey's there. He's like, "What the hell?" Do
you know what? You lot are making me feel a lot better about West Ham's transfer window.
But you know, like when in the Man United game, and you see in Martial and Sancho warm up, and then our first sub is Helder Costa. I would like him to change that to Somerville, just to give us something a bit different. Because I already said to Joe, if Somerville doesn't work out ahead of Costa and Pervader, it's nothing lost, because these two aren't working out either. So let's just try something that looks a bit more threatening, looks a bit more direct, looks like he's got a bit about him, and see what he can do. We got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I agree. Tottenham have been beat, by the way. Tottenham have been beat.
Oh, hey Corey Tobes.
You know Toby's gonna pretend like he don't care, but deep
Yeah,
inside he's hurting bad.
But KG, you say Costa. I mean, I'd go further than that. I'd rather put Joe on than Costa at this moment in time. Honestly, it's got. But when Costa came on, I wasn't expecting anything more than a 4 out of 10. He got. I think Clicky played a ball over the top into him. It was across the ground as well. It wasn't like it was in the air. Costa's back-heeled it out of play.
Yeah.
He's not even on the miscontrol. He's back-heeled it out of play. And there's another time when he tries to go for a one-on-one against Harry Maguire, and Harry Maguire's literally not even touched him. And Costa's just gone. Costa's basically gone to the advertising boards, and Maguire's not even touched him. And I'm thinking, I genuinely look at it now and think, I think we've just got to move these players on and get another winger. For me, get that. Give someone a chance.
Oscar, and I said this to Joe as well. I think that's who Angus is kind of referring to, those kind of players where the Championship, if the finances were better, would have taken a Costa for 6 million. And there's just no takers for a guy like that right now with the finances. So I think that's why we're kind of stuck with him.
But it's sad to see. He's better than this. He is better than this, Costa. Look what he did at Wolves, what he did early on in his Leeds career. But I just think he's not been the right fit.
What do you mean? What he did in his early Leeds career? He's never
the first
done
season. First season, he was all right. He's
never done.
No. Start first half of the season. No, him and Nketiah changed a lot of games that first part of the first season.
This guy has cost us the same amount as Rafinha.
Oh yeah, don't go. It's a disastrous signing. It has been a disastrous since. But no, come on.
Tell me a good game.
I can't remember specific ones, mate. I can't remember specific ones. But no, come on. He was decent the first bit of the season. He didn't justify his value, but no, him and Nketiah changed a lot of games that first bit of the season. They did that first bit of the season.
Is he really that bad? Like, I got to be honest.
Bro, he comes on. He either fouls on the edge of our box because he can't tackle.
And that was against West Ham. That was against West Ham as well, by the way.
He comes on and just size people down, and then, as I say, going forward, I get the impression he's a confidence player. And when Leeds United brought in Rafinha, he went to bits. He wasn't up for no fight. Similar happened at Wolves, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Jota turned up, and he just couldn't get back into the team.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Look, I want him to do well. But it's going to be at Ellen Road on the weekend. It's 0. It's 75 minutes. The board goes up. Costa. Everyone's going to go, oh, for fuck's sake. You're going to hear it. Trust me, you're going to hear it.
I think you will.
Yeah, no, you will.
I think you will hit some grounds.
The whole ground will go, for fuck's sake. And then you'll hear that. And that's not going to help him either.
No,
it's not. That's why I just think now it's better for Costa. It's better for us. It just hasn't worked out. It happens. I mean, how many players have we had where it's just not worked out for whatever reason? Like Pedraza the other week, playing for Villarreal at left back, and thinking, I never saw him as a left back when he was playing for Leeds. It just doesn't work. But certain players just don't work out at certain clubs. The way it goes, we just got. I think now you've got to move on though. Now I just think now it's the time to do it.
Yeah. Let's move him on. Let's
go get Pedraza.
I don't know. Get Luke Varney over Elder Costa, man, for God's sake. I'm joking.
Do you remember Noah Hunt?
Oh, legend.
He used to chase a ball that ran out of play and then just give a thumbs up. That's all I remember of Noah Hunt. Absolutely awful, man. Oh.
What about Cameron Stewart and Jimmy Kebe?
Mental, weren't it? They were two marquees, weren't they? Do you remember?
Oh, that January window.
Marquee signings, them boyos. Right. Let's tie it up because I can see Corey thinking, what are these guys going on?
Corey's enjoying this. Corey's having the best 20 minutes of his life here.
Who are these championship names are just flying over my head? Like, I kind of vaguely remember when we was in there, and now I'm like, I don't know, lads. So, don't know what it's like anymore.
Yeah, mental. May we never go back there again, man. Please, ever. I just couldn't.
He's actually horrible though. When we
Yeah.
went down, I was like, "Get me out of there, quick time!" Because like you realise it's so hard to get promoted. Like obviously you lot know more than anyone.
We know.
Yeah, like, so
You don't need to tell us, mate. We only spent 16 years out of it. You don't need to tell us that, mate.
half my life.
Oh my days.
Oh, it's mental when you think of it like that. From Champions Leagues to half my life in the Championship, it's mental. Well, League One as well.
And I just want to say as well, I was so disappointed when we were in League One and we didn't get that Johnson's Paint Trophy. Just something.
Oh.
Yeah,
You know,
just
like,
something. Yeah.
Just something. You know, but
I was at that Carlisle game as well. We got beat by Carlisle. And was it? I can't remember who missed. It was Shane Lowry who missed the penalty. It's so Leeds that though.
Yeah.
They couldn't even win at Wembley when we were in that league.
That's right. Okay, Corey, what have we got to look forward to on the West Ham way this weekend, mate?
Preview. I don't know when I'm going to put it out because Monday's such a dodgy day, so I've got to try and suss out whether it's Saturday or Sunday. Going to the game, so post matches. I don't know when I'm going to do that. I might try and vlog it down there, but West Ham, I don't know. You'll find out when you guys a bit odd to try and get through and sort out. So I don't know about cameras and that, but yeah, no, mate, just the usual preview and post match stuff.
Good stuff. Oscar on All Leeds TV. What we got?
So Phil and Chris have done quick videos on the Everton game. I'm just going to film one now. Filmed with Toppy TV this afternoon. Just a quick pre-recorded one with them. Very nice to speak to them. So that's going to go out as well. And then on the day, I don't think we've got a watch along this week, as far as I'm aware, because we're all at the game. So we'll be doing the post-match stuff going up at some point after the game. Not sure exactly when. We're doing the other fans post-match that obviously you very kindly came on last week, mate, on Sunday. Hopefully not a therapy session this week. It'll just be a extended Saturday night celebration. That's what we're going for. So pretty much everything, mate. Just talking rubbish, really, and just yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, the links are in the description. KG?
yeah, man. Like I said earlier, I've got a preview with an Everton fan, Marva, on my channel. She was great. I know that some female fans don't feel like there's enough female representation. Well, I got somebody. So if you want to check that out, that's on my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, man. Just trying to grow the thing. I'll have a post match at some point after Leeds Everton. I'll probably go live for that one too. So if you want to join me, feel free to join me on there and we can talk about it together, people.
Yeah, there you go. So if your normal spot is All Leeds TV, which I think viewers might be, they're going to be at the game. They're not doing one. Make sure you pop over onto KG so you've got all your watch along on there as well. The link to all the boys' channels is in the description. All do great content, so make sure you check them all out. Thank you, as always, for watching Before the Whistle Blows. We really enjoyed doing it. It's always a good laugh. Myself, I'll have a preview out in the morning with a very, very special guest. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And it's not Conor Gallagher, I promise. All right. Thank you, as always.
When we play Palace, mate, and Gallagher inevitably scores.
Are we going like that?
That's Joe. That's Joe in Italy winning the Euros all over again. We lose the game like 6-0. Gallagher hat-trick. Next day.
He's probably got Gallagher on the back.
Yeah, the next day, good player, that Gallagher. I did actually say he was a good player.
Just watched his progression from Charlton, Swansea, West Brom. I think he's good. I know he's Chelsea, but you know what I mean. He was great in the Championship. Right. Let's leave it there. Like the video if you can. Subscribe, comment, and of course hit that notification bell. I'll be doing some watch-alongs over the weekend, Super Sunday, etc. Really enjoyed doing that this Sunday. So last Sunday, sorry. So let's do it again. And make sure you check out the boys' channels, and I will leave it there.